All right, excited to have today's guest on, the newest member of the Sacramento Republic, Justin Portillo. Welcome to the podcast. Thanks for coming. Is it your first time in the office?
This is my second time. I did the media, all the photo shoots.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, that's right.
I did it right here, literally right here where we're sitting.
Yeah.
So
well, this is, I think, the last podcast in this office, and then we're moving to the new office in a couple weeks, and I think this is the last one here. So we have a nice little set build, and then we're gonna have to refigure it out.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
Oh well, hey, you're being too kind.
I'm sure the other one will look just as nice
For sure.
too. Yeah,
you're being way too nice, man. Way too nice. We're shooting this on phones, so it is what it is. Well, welcome to Sacramento, man. We've crossed paths a couple different times, just about, but it's been first time actually getting to sit down and chat with you, which is exciting. I want to talk to you a little bit about what it's been like in Sacramento so far. We'll talk about Tuesday, and we were just saying how it's such a bummer you were cup-tied on Tuesday. What was that kind of like for you, knowing there's not much you can do on Tuesday in terms of what you can bring on the field, but what was that kind of like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, a bit odd sitting in the stands to watch a game, but it's a weird feeling because, you want to be out there helping the guys as much as possible. But, like we've talked about, the leadership in the group here is, a bunch of veterans and things like that. So I knew going into the game that, we're going to go in with a lot of confidence. Unlucky, for it not to go our way, but thought the boys showed a lot of fight, a lot of character. And, that's all you can kind of ask for, and then may the chips fall where they do. Well,
you're a veteran in your own right. You've played for many different teams. If you compare Sacramento to teams you played for in the past, you come up from Tulsa midseason in a transfer. I guess let's go back and let's start there before I get to that next question. What was your reaction like when you started hearing about the midseason transfer coming to Sacramento? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, no, it was definitely exciting. I definitely appreciated my time in Tulsa. I knew the club wanted to kind of go a different direction, and they were starting to kind of rebuild. It seemed like, for the years to come. And then, once I talked to Mark and Todd and just to hear the things that they, had to say, their vision. And then I just kind of was like, let's do it. I know winning is important, and like it is in any team, but I know the pressure to win here is high, and that's what you want as an athlete. You want to be in those moments where winning is everything kind of. And I knew what I was coming into, already good group here in the standings, and the years that have been in the past. I've played against Sac plenty of times, and always been a tough place to play. Always, this team's always at the top of the standings. So I was very excited and ready to get going.
What is the expectation versus reality of what you thought it was going to be like playing in Sacramento versus actually playing? You don't have to leave out the part. You can leave out the part where it's 110 degrees a couple times we've had in this heat wave. But what has it been like so far?
No, it's been that. Even from training and all that, it's been it's very intense. It's very competitive in there, and it's an environment where you kind of can't take a day off, whether that's a light day in training, a regen type day, the tough days in training, and then the games. This team has a lot of really good players, which is good. You want that push, that competitiveness going in to kind of get you ready for the games. So it's been definitely what I expected and more.
What were the initial conversations like with Briggs about what your role would look like and where you would be placed in tactically into this roster, into this lineup?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've known Briggs since 2018. We worked together. So I
like that you put it that way. Work together.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. So I know his style. I know how he is as a manager, and so I knew, unfortunately, the situation with Roro, with him getting injured. So I knew they kind of wanted someone to kind of bring that a veteran guy in the midfield. So I was just ready to go and just told him anything you need from me, I'll be ready, and hopefully we can push forward and make a run.
Is Briggs calmer? Like, what's the difference between Briggs, what is that, 6 years ago now, to Briggs now? Is he calmer? Is he more intense? Like, is there any difference, or is it same?
I think it's the same. He's intense. He knows what he wants out of players, out of the team. Again, as a player, that's what you want in a coach is somebody that's going to push you, try to make you the best possible version of yourself, and that's how he was then. That's how he is now.
What's your opinion been of the atmosphere so far at home games, and what's it been like having the crowd with your guys?
Amazing, honestly, yeah. since the first home game, even the first away game, my first away game was Monterey, and a good amount of fans showed up to that. I'm not too big into social media, but even on social media, a lot of fans reached out and welcomed me. As well as even before I got here, a lot of players reached out and things like that. So I think even before I even stepped on the field, I felt welcomed right away.
That's great, and I'm probably going to be a pretty large fan group going, I would imagine, to that Oakland game in a couple weeks. That'll be on the big CBS network, which is exciting. You come into a team mid-season, right? Which has got to be tough, just in general. The guys have kind of starting to, a lot of these guys have been around for a few years. You have to try and insert yourself into the fold, not only on the field and try and fit in, but off the field, I'm sure too. What has that process been like for you?
Yeah, this is the first time in my career where I've where I've been traded or came to a new team mid-season. So it was definitely some getting used to, but again, and then I never played with, at least I don't think, off the top of my head, I don't think I played with anybody previously.
Oh, okay.
On the team. Hope I'm not leaving somebody out, but I don't think. And but again, it started from before I even got here. Guys reached out, and then as soon as I got here, Andre helped me out a lot, and Danny. I didn't have my car initially when I got here, so Danny was giving me lifts to training and stuff like that. So I got to know Danny, and then guys around the locker room, things like that. But it was super early on that guys were inviting me to grab a coffee, things like that. So
the coffee group is strong.
Yeah.
Who asked you to coffee?
Let's see. I went with Lee to a coffee. Yeah, it was like me, Lee, Jono, Jared Mazzola. So we went and got a coffee. And then like Jack invited me to one of his friends' house just to hang around like the pool and watch. I think we watched one of the Euro games.
Nice.
So it's been class. So
that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Glad to hear it. Just so you know, a little tip for you: don't try to match Vitiello coffee for coffee.
I saw his the pregame.
Nuts.
His pregame because he's my roommate on the road. So I've gotten to see Danny the day before a game or the day of the game. Yeah. His coffee routine is crazy. I couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. And he's pretty calm.
Yeah.
Like pretty calm.
I even had to tone it down because I would go like one as soon as I wake up, and then one kind of like midday-ish, 12-1. But then I like to nap the day of a game, so it kind of started to like affect me that second one. So I'll try to just knock one down early in the morning, and then hopefully I can still take that nap during the day.
Danny's is pretty nuts. Speaking of Danny, had one of the most unbelievable performances I think any of us have seen from a goalkeeper a couple weeks ago. What was that like for you in your experience in that match, watching some of those plays he made?
Unreal. Yeah. I don't think I've ever played in a game where a goalie had a performance like that. Yeah. It was but he shows it every day. He shows it in training. It's not just something that just happened out of a coincidence or anything like that. Like he shows it in training. He shows it, game in, game out. So I've been a big fan, even on the field playing with him, of Danny.
Sacramento, you've been here 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Yeah, just about a month exactly, probably. Okay. Yeah.
What have you had any chance? I know we had the bye weekend this last weekend. Did you have a chance? Have you got a chance to experience Sacramento at all? Do you think it's been hot? So maybe not.
Yeah. No, after training, I'm mainly just
in the AC.
In the AC. Yeah. I even feel bad because like my dog, I wait till late at night or early in the morning
to walk. Yeah.
To walk him and take him out. But during the day, I'm like, nah, this isn't happening. But I've gone to a couple of coffee spots, couple spots to eat. So that's kind of been. But that's kind of my gist as it is. It's just trying to find, good food and a nice cup of coffee.
Is there any? You've obviously traveled around a lot, but like, have you any spots you're trying to hit around the areas or anything you've been?
I know it's not like there's spots outside of Sacramento.
Yeah, right. That's what
Yeah. Like I've never been on like Lake Tahoe would be cool to drive out to. Napa would be cool.
Yep.
And then kind of just to see more like different pockets of Sac.
Yeah.
I've kind of only been around like the midtown to downtown area. I live close to here, so right on. I've kind of just checked out this area.
Well, there's still a lot around here.
I'm excited.
So you went you're from Louisiana, went to Coastal Carolina. At what point in your college career did you realize, this might become a profession for me?
Yeah, it's funny because it kind of started even before that. I never even you have those like goals as like a youngster growing up. You want to play professionally, and then I would say probably around like even 15 or 16, I didn't even know if I was like good enough to play in college.
Oh, really?
So I was just like, if I could just play in college, that would be cool. And then, I would say like my junior year of high school, I was like, okay, maybe college could work out. And then I ended up at Coastal Carolina. And then kind of the same. I was just kind of like, this is cool, full ride to play soccer, get my education. And then it might have been around towards the fall season of my junior year, I would say, where I was like, maybe, we started to play a couple like spring games against pro teams, and I thought I could hang and I would play well. And then my senior year, kind of around that time, I kind of felt like the push from like coaches, and then I started to like see my name in different articles and like like prospect lists and things like that. And then just right out of college, went to the MLS Combine as well, but didn't get drafted. And then a couple weeks after that, I got a tryout with Charleston Battery, and then kind of went from there.
Yeah. So how many USL teams you played for now?
This is also Charleston. I played Charleston, Real Monarchs, New Mexico United, Tulsa, and SAC. So this will be my 5th club.
Is the atmosphere between Sacramento and New Mexico United the closest probably of those of you played?
I would say, I would say
Charleston,
for sure.
I feel like pretty good crowd too.
Yep.
But New Mexico United fans, they also are.
Yeah, they
are
show
solid.
up. They show up. Yep.
I think yellow, in my opinion, like yellow in terms of sports, like yellow works in soccer. I don't think it works in other sports as well.
Okay.
Just the yellow.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I guess it's because I'm anti-Lakers, but that's partially it.
See, and I like the Lakers. So.
Well.
But I only like the Lakers because LeBron's there. That's it.
That's why? Okay.
Once LeBron leaves, I probably won't like the Lakers anymore. I just follow LeBron wherever he goes. Yeah.
You're gonna have some fans bringing this up to you. Don't tell Roro you like the Lakers.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a couple guys. Guys who are
big Warriors guys out here. Sacramento Kings as well. Obviously
Kings. Yeah, a lot of Kings. A lot of the guys like to go to the Kings games for sure. For sure.
But I'm a Pelican. I'm from New Orleans, so I'm Pelicans.
Oh, okay.
I'm Pelicans.
Right on.
That's my team. So
they killed the Kings last year. 6 straight games.
Yeah.
6-0.
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. Good to know. Yeah, I think the yellow thing is like it's like Dortmund.
I see what you mean though.
Like the yellow wall is like so pronounced. Columbus Crew kind of has this too. It's just like I don't know. Like if you baseball, no.
Yeah. Who's yellow in baseball?
Nobody.
Yeah.
That's why. Like they have those like alternate.
Their second team. Yeah. Their second color might be yellow, like the Pirates or something.
Yeah. Or I guess like the Ducks.
Even Oakland, right? Oakland wears. They were yellow.
Kind of, but I just feel like for whatever reason, yellow in soccer to me is the best sport in yellow.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why we went on that tangent, but this is why it's a podcast, man. That's why it's a podcast. I wanted to ask how you can rate your own performance and the way you've been integrated into the system so far. Like, how do you feel like you've performed and fit into the build up in the group so far since you've been here? Yeah, no,
I think luckily I think the guys have helped out so much. So I think it didn't take me long to, let's say, like feel comfortable, speaking up like on the field or going to like, get a ball from this guy or things like that. I think that's kind of where I felt the most like easily to be like inputted into the team was on the field. And even like that Monterey game I was here maybe 3-4 days and then played that game.
Right.
But I think it just comes down to winning.
Yeah.
Winning helps everything, and obviously, we want to play a little better here at home. But I think I've done okay, to be honest. I think there's still another level for me to reach and to help the guys out. But again, I know I've come here mid-season, and I want to just put my input into the game that can help this team. Hopefully, even if it's a little bit, to help this team reach the playoffs, obviously, and then make a run for the championship. So,
but I would imagine, like, you mentioned it's been about a month. Like, it takes time to get comfortable on the field, know people's tendencies, know the spots.
Yeah.
What, like, do you feel your confidence level game by game getting higher and higher in terms of knowing what to expect from your teammates, what to expect from the system?
Yeah.
Does that get higher and higher every game?
I think it does, yeah. Especially, for somebody like me, I like to, get on the ball, and I want to be around the ball as much as possible. So I think, game by game, I think that confidence will continue to grow. Honestly, I think I should push for that confidence each game, and hopefully it doesn't take me personally to deeper games down into the season. I kind of want that like instant confidence and that instant, I know the guys, trust me on the ball and things like that. But then there's other parts of the game that I think I can be a little better defensively and things like that and make more of an impact in that way. So that's something I definitely want to strive for going forward.
The midfield kind of core and Nick Ross has kind of floated in a couple different roles throughout the year. But with you, Luis, and Nick, what's the communication like with you guys game to game, training, getting each other on the same page as you continue to get into the fold?
I think that was kind of one of the connections that I instantly kind of saw is myself, Nick, and Luis. Those are, again, two guys as well that are class on the ball, and you want to give those guys the ball as much as possible. I know, we'll see how the season plays out, but I like to play a little deeper than those guys, and I like to just get the ball and kind of give it to those guys and let them create their magic. And I know they've been doing it here for a number of years. You're playing against Sacramento. Guys like Nick and Luis are, you circle them on the team sheet because those are guys that get this team moving. So I think we're all comfortable giving each other the ball, which is really good, and then kind of hopefully from there we can kind of go and express ourselves.
What so you said you feel most comfortable playing a little deep, but you're also really great at free kicks. What are some of these? I don't think we've had a free or a set piece goal in a while. Is that something that also takes a bit of time to try and figure out who's going where? Some of the set plays that you guys do. Yeah,
well, I mean, we do a good job of kind of setting up plays and things like that and runs going in. That's another aspect of it. For me, at least personally, I just try to whip in a good ball, and I know we have guys that can go hunt the ball down. Right. So I think it's just important to try to just put the ball in good spots, and that's another area where I feel I can, as the season goes on, hopefully start delivering, some better balls for these guys to go and get goals.
And what about the communication relationship with the guys behind you, from the center backs to the wing backs? We played in this 3-back system for a little bit of time now, but I'm sure you've played in 3-back systems in your career, obviously, as you're a long-term veteran. Is this a system that you feel like fits your style really well, or is it something where you're like, I got to change this a little bit, got to play a little bit different here? Like, what is it? How does it fit for you? Yes,
it depends, kind of how we set up, but it's definitely a bit more of, like, defensively, I would say it's a bit more work. I don't think it's nothing I can't handle, but a lot of times there would be, if we're on the ball and I'm deeper just in front of the 3, and let's just say a turnover would happen, then I know I'm kind of in my own world for a little bit until we can kind of get back behind it. But I think, honestly, the guys, here are super solid, and throughout the whole game, I'm hearing them. I'm hearing, guys like Lee, Connor, Jared, Shane. Yeah. I hear those guys. So, and I tell them all that, I try to tell them, yell at me if you need to, man. Like, it doesn't matter. I like when I can hear them behind me and kind of just telling me where to go, kind of dictating me where to be defensively, because that's a massive help.
Yeah. What about some of the longer runs that we're starting to see? Jack likes to get up down that right side. It seems like, I feel like there's early on, you don't realize maybe that run is there. It seems like those kinds of deeper runs and longer balls, you're getting more comfortable playing. Do you feel that as you start to get more?
Yeah. I know there was, like, the first couple games, looking back at film, I would see Jack, Dami, or Aldair in great spots, and I'm just like, why did I not kind of play that? Or I should have seen that earlier. I had that talk with Dami not too long ago where I was like, man, I like waited a couple extra seconds to play you, and I don't know why I didn't play him early, because he was in great spots. And Jack's told me that from the beginning. He was like, he's like, sometimes don't even look, just take your touch and I'll be there. Just put it in that space. So again, going forward, I hope I get to that point where I just know Jack will be there, and I just got to put it in that space for him.
But it's a challenging spot for you to come in mid-season like this, and you're basically, you had your full training camp, you had everything with Tulsa, right?
Yep.
Then you have to come in, everything changes.
Yep.
You got to fit in. There's so many pieces to it. I'm sure it's not only physically challenging, it's probably mentally challenging too,
Yeah.
right? Because you have to think about all these things that are now happening.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like for you in that challenge? Like, how do you see that playing or not playing out? But how has it been in that aspect?
Yeah. Again, this is the first time, but I think it goes back to just the guys making me feel comfortable, and the club and the fans. I think it's been physically challenging for sure. It's a lot of information to take in, but at the end of the day, I mean, it just goes down to 11v11 out there. You figure it out. The games, a lot of guys in this locker room have played the game for so long that it's a lot of experience. So you figure it out, and then it's almost just one of those. It's kind of no excuses whether you're new or if I was here for 5 years. To me, it kind of makes no difference. I have that confidence to go out and hopefully perform well.
Why do you wear number 43?
So that was so when I went from Charleston to the Real Monarchs, when they were in the USL, because they were the second team to RSL, they gave you between 40 and 60 to pick.
Right.
And I just walked in and everything just had my last name with 43 on it. And I was like, I don't even know if I would have picked 43, but it was just there. And then after 2018, the first team signed me in 2019. And to be honest, one of the main reasons is because I had just bought a lot of family members Real Monarchs 43 jerseys. So I was like,
you don't want to buy them
man,
again.
I kind of do not want to have to do this again with like a different number. The second reason might have been because the numbers, which I don't know if anyone on our team wears these numbers, but the first team gave me a couple, like 3 options that were only open from 1 to 30, and it was like 29, 20, like just like numbers that didn't really do it for me, I guess. Yeah. And so I was like, can I keep 43? And at first they were like, no, that's only for Real Monarchs players. And I was like, and I don't know what made me do this, but I remember just going into the coach's office, and I'm just this like new guy who like, I was like, just getting signed.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, is there any way I keep 43? They keep saying I have to change. And he was like, I don't care. And he called the kit man in and was like, hey, he's keeping 43. And then they were like, all right. And then it's just kind of from there. So that was kind of the main reason is I didn't want to buy more jerseys again for everybody.
I respect on
and
that.
then as like, as the season and time went on, it just kind of reminded me of like having that number and wanting to make that first team, wanting to, be in that locker room one day. So, wearing 43 just kind of brings it back to, play with that hunger kind of.
What a great story, man. That's great.
So,
that's fantastic. Typically I ask that question. It's like, I don't know. But at 43, I figured, there had to be something because it's a not relatively obscure number.
Right.
I'm not going to ask a guy, hey, why do you wear number 10? Now, I'll probably know. I could probably guess the answer, right?
And then another good reason is usually if you go to a new club, it's free.
Yeah. No, not a lot of people have it.
I know, so.
Yeah, it's good branding too, man. Good branding. Did you see Domi had a 3 in his head, in his side of his head?
Yeah.
Like, you might have
I
to
might
get a 43.
I don't know if that's my style.
I know.
Domi can pull that off. I don't know if I can pull it off.
I know. Might be a 26 and under thing.
Might
be
a
young guy
I know.
thing. Well, this has been great, man. The thing we didn't prep you for is at the end of the episode, we invite the guests that you can ask me any question you want about the city, the club, anything. Do you have anything you want to ask?
Let's see. I'll ask you, who is your personal favorite player on the team to watch? Play.
Oh, to watch.
Play.
Yeah.
His style, like it might, like if you were a player, if you play professionally, you'd be like, I would like.
I mean, Pirano is fun to watch.
Okay, yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah.
He's fun to watch. I love Jack as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's also very fun to watch. Kieran and Seba when they get moving.
Yeah.
It's hard to say
attackers.
The center backs,
Then you
it's
like
hard to say the center backs.
You like that. That's
Videolo. I mean, Videolo's.
Yeah.
After that performance he had about a month ago. But probably the attackers. It's just in terms of most fun. Nick,
Christian is very fun to watch.
Yes, he is. Nick is like so fundamental.
Yeah.
He's just
poised, like always calm. Yeah, I agree.
So there's something to that, like not flashy, but gets the job done, makes the right play every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say those guys. Dami and Aldair on the wings too. They how much running that they have to do in the system, trying to keep up with Jax.
Mm-hmm.
whatever miles he runs in a
Yep.
game, which is crazy. So I feel like I said just about everybody, but
Yeah.
Toronto in terms of like the ball at your feet, unbelievable.
Yeah. He's like must-watch TV when he has the ball. Yeah.
Cicerone when he comes back, or you haven't played with him yet, but Cicerone when he comes back,
Yep.
his intensity and his just straight desire to
Yeah.
want to score
Yep.
is incredible. And then Roro when he's healthy,
Yeah,
man, like
yeah.
he's a magician with the way he passes.
Yeah.
So that's what's great about this team is we got so many guys who do
Different styles that it all kind of comes together. Yeah,
for sure. So it's a good question though. I like that. That's a good
there you
one.
go.
Well, this was great, man. Thanks for coming in. It was great to sit down and chat with you.
Yeah.
Get to learn a little bit about you. I think fans will enjoy this as well. Excited you're here and excited you're going to get a couple more games under your
Yeah.
belt. I imagine coming in mid-season has got to be tough. So excited to see as
Appreciate
that continues to build.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Let's get some wins.
Let's
do
get
it.
some wins. All right.
Let's
Thanks,
go.
brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it.